I go abroad, I'm putting 7 photographs. People are jealous. Engineers or doctors are getting good job today. I don't agree with you.
What are you going to do? Because one day if the Instagram stops, your heartbeat drops.
Do you all want to become a multimillionaire very fast?
Yes.
वहां सीता मैया को बचा के लाए, आग लगाई, लंका में आग लगाई. उन्होंने कोई सोशल मीडिया में तो नहीं डाला ना कि मैं पहली बार विदेश गया. If you want to see these thumbs up and likes, 1,000 likes, and you are happy on that, you are on the wrong side of life. A new day, a new concept. Welcome to Kukspeaks. I am Manoj Kukreja, your host. I have with me Charles, the youngster. Hi, Charles.
Hello, sir.
Hi. Charles is based in Bombay, and Charles is also based in Bhopal. Charles is an anchor. Charles is a PRO. Charles is a conduit between the celebrities of the TV industry and the film industry with the public. And he's been doing great work, Charles. And Kukspeaks, as I said, a new concept. You know, we were planning, and in fact, I was deeply involved over a couple of years. And the segment I chose, Charles, is that Charles would, represent a balance between the youngsters and, a little bit of the middle-aged people. The concept was the basic concept is, of course, the counseling, which we are about to start in Kukspeaks, which I will be getting back to you. And Charles, the other thing is the youngsters, the facing. I mean, we discussed that about a couple of days back. So many issues are there, employment issues are there. The son to parent issue is there. Brother to brother issue is there.
True.
Frustration is increasing. Unemployment is increasing. So I thought, why not, start this beautiful concept of counseling? Because I had the privilege of maybe sitting with about 14 to 15 young buggers, and listening to them. Patience is the key. Patience is the key. So what is your take on that?
Well, of course, with youngsters, and especially when you're talking about the youth in total, behind the camera, we were just talking that, how the gap has been widening even in the smaller perspectives. So, of course, patience is the key. You have to understand what is working with them and what is not working with them. But before going further into this, I want to ask you, why did you thought to start with youth? Why not somebody else or something else? Why did you chose to start with youth itself?
Maybe because of the percentage, population is very high. If you talk about the youth today, and if you go, though I have not checked up the exact figures of the election census, but if you go, the youth is massive in India. I think one of the massive populations in the world today of the youth, of the youngsters, is in India. So I thought that segment, and the unemployment generally hits the youngster,
Right.
For the old people who have retired, the problem is the frustration. What do they do now? That is another segment. That population is also huge.
Complete different segment.
Complete different. So I think one of my main reasons or a focus for the youngsters was because of the quantity.
Right. So I woke up to this news today that 83% of young India is jobless, and I feel that because we are called a young economy. Now that we see that youngsters are not getting a job, do you think that is the reason of this depression, this irritation that we were talking about, because of which the patience is needed? Do you think that is the reason?
First of all, being a representative of the youngsters, you feel this frustration or anger is coming a lot on the younger people, or you feel they feel that they are unwanted, or they feel they are not able to achieve what they can achieve. Do you feel something like that?
I do. I mean, we are sitting on a plate where there is people who come from a lot of experience. Then there are youngsters who have a lot of opinions, but where to go and give this opinion? Because social media plays a huge part. But nobody is taking social media seriously these days. So where do we fit in? That's the problem. Where do we fit in? Are we okay to give opinion, or are we not okay to give opinion? Where should we give opinion where we are being heard? I think that's the
yeah. See, I feel, Charles, any youngster, for that matter, me or you, I always feel, see, first of all, let me be very clear about one thing. We have so many counselors, or, we have so many motivational speakers. There cannot be a set motivation rule for you, me, or our cameraman Ashwini, or we have KK, or we have Sagar standing here. Every man has got a different motivation.
True.
So a motivational speaker cannot say this is for the world. हो सकता है उसमें चार्ल्स को अच्छा लगे, उसको हो सकता है उसको अच्छा लगे, एक सेगमेंट को बिल्कुल समझ ही नहीं आया ये क्या बोल रहा है.
True.
So first of all, we have to tackle case to case basis. This fellow. Now coming to the youngster saying कि हम किसको बोले या क्या बोले. I always feel there are two puts in a man's life. One is the input, one is the output. This is what I have believed in life. Input means what? Input means I can I can take an input from someone who's near and dear. I do a work. For example,
Right.
I do a work. Now, how do I know that work has been done well, that work has not been done well? So that has to be a well-wisher. So I always say, be connected to your family.
Right.
Be connected to your family. Family is the nucleus of Indian culture, of the Indian tradition. Be connected to your family. You're very lucky if you can have good friends. So that input is very essential. You're sitting here, after you go from here, you will positively like to ask someone कि मेरा यार वो इंटरव्यू कैसा गया, किससे पूछोगे?
True.
तो किसी जानकार से पूछोगे. He could be an elder or he could be a younger, but that input in life is a must. I feel this is one of my main things.
Absolutely. And sir, I would, because you mentioned family, that is another thing that I've been noticing around my friends and peers and, even the younger ones, that the parents are finding it very difficult to understand how to commute with their children, because the age gap, again, coming back to the age gap point, the age gap has so widened. Now they do not know how to speak to their children only, because whatever they tell to their children, they are not reciprocating. So that gap is also increasing. So now the children, particularly the kids we are talking about, the youth, they are not even feeling comfortable with their parents. They are not opening up to their parents. They're opening up to their friends. Now again, peer group is becoming a part of it. So how do we communicate that input output system where the input comes in? Because वहीं पे ब्लॉकेज आ गया ना, तो अंदर बात तो जा ही नहीं रही है, तो आउटपुट तो वही आ रहा है जो मेरे मन में चल रहा है. So how do we control
Yeah,
that?
I'll come to that. But I said input could be from, preferably from the family, but it could be from anyone who is your well-wisher, which is very, very difficult
True.
to find. It's very difficult to find. I mean, I'm a big believer of friendship in my life, but I always feel at the age of whatever age I am right now, it's very difficult to count more than maybe 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 friends, who genuinely care for you. So of course you can open to them. बट एक बाप जो होता है या एक जो माँ होती है, वो ही एक ऐसी शख्सियत है जो अगर उसका बच्चा उससे ऊपर उठेगा तो वो खुश रहेगा या खुश रहेगी. You see, the only fellow who will not be jealous of the son is the father, if he crosses him. So that is the son has to realize. And of course, that is why we are here to give that motivational speak. True. That is why, we'll have to sit down with the parents and we'll have to see the itinerary of the child. What is he doing the whole day? We'll have to have a word with the child. We'll have to have a word with the parents. Parents have to be patient. Parents will have to keep their ego a little separate. मैं गया, मेरे लड़के ने मेरे को विश नहीं किया. नहीं करते आजकल के बच्चे विश. नहीं करते. इट्स अ फैक्ट. आपको पेशेंस रखना पड़ेगा. आपको उसको समझाना पड़ेगा. आपको ये देखिए, मूलधन ये है कि आपकी प्रायोरिटी बड़ी क्लियर होनी चाहिए कि मेरा परिवार टूटना नहीं चाहिए. ट्रू. देखिए, अल्टीमेटली टूटेगा तो टूटेगा. यू कांट हेल्प, बट यू हैव टू गिव योर 110% एफर्ट एज अ फादर और अ मदर दैट द फैमिली डजंट ब्रेक. So I think communication is the main thing, Charles, which I come. So I think it's a counseling required for both, for the child and for the parents, on an individual case basis. We'll continue with that. अपनी क्वेश्चनर इतना लंबा है. इनपुट के बाद में मैंने बोला आउटपुट. ये तो मैंने इनपुट ले लिया कि मैंने कैसा किया, मैंने क्या किया, मैं ये करने जा रहा हूं, मैं करूं कि नहीं करूं, मैं ये एक प्रोजेक्ट डालने जा रहा हूं, मैं करूं कि नहीं करूं, ये मेरा इनपुट हो गया. अब मैंने कर लिया. अब मैं किससे डिस्कस करूं? मैं उस आदमी से तो डिस्कस कर नहीं सकता, उसने मेरे को गाइड किया था. देन आई हैव टू हैव एन आउटपुट कि यार आज मैंने ये किया बॉस, यार कल बहुत पीली थी, डाउन हो गया था बॉस, आज यार क्या करूं बॉस, ये दोस थिंग्स ऑफ लाइफ विच आर वेरी बिटर बट ट्रुथ. यार कल मैं लेट, यार कल मैंने यार वो 3 लाख रुपए दिए थे मेरे डूब, यार मेरा वो बिजनेस में ये प्रॉब्लम आ गया, यार उसने मेरे को धोखा दे दिया. तो ये एक आउटपुट होता है आपका, जो आपके दिल में प्रेशर कुकर की तरह बैठा रहता है, उसको आपको रिलीज करना बहुत जरूरी होता है. तो अगर आप जैसे इनपुट और आउटपुट में बैलेंस कर लोगे तो आई थिंक यू विल बी अ वेरी हैप्पी मैन. Just my coming to the employment, yeah, I agree with you, Charles, that 83% unemployment is there. Going for self-employment, why not?
So the thing about self-employment is it's a great thing, and even government.
Now, suppose unemployment is there, what do you do?
I mean, a lot of youth is now diverting towards opening their own businesses, and that's massive. That's huge change. But not everyone can start their own business. If everyone is a seller, then who is the buyer? So now you're pushing everyone to start their own businesses, but now the businesses are not running. For example, recently we were celebrating Holi. Now in this city itself, in Bhopal, there were so many Holi festivals happening. Everyone wants to become an event manager. Everyone wants to host an event. Majority of the events flopped because there was nobody to go. So now you are telling them to become self-employed and do something.
And I'm not telling them to become event manager. You see, now the other problem, I'll tell you. Yes, I'll come to that. The other problem is the video and the YouTube and the Google. Everyone tries its best to come onto the stage where everyone can see. I've done this, एक photograph.
Yeah.
I've done this, एक photograph. I'm not saying everyone becomes self-employed. Say 83%, even 20% become self-employed. They can employ the balance 60%.
Yeah.
आई एम नॉट सेइंग दैट 83% का 83% बन जाए, पर क्या सेल्फ एम्प्लॉयमेंट के लिए अपन लोग उसको उस तरीके से सीरियसली देख रहे हैं आज की तारीख में, वो एक बहुत जरूरी चीज है.
So sir, I was just mentioning that, professions like doctor or engineer, the techies that we call, they are required everywhere. Even to go abroad, they are required. But somebody like me who is an anchor, or somebody who is in events, or say the skilled workers, not the techie workers, the other ones, they are the ones who are finding jobs because they need jobs. They need a regular income. Now, what happens to them because they do not have enough opportunities, and the opportunities that they are getting, there they are not getting paid enough. So for that matter, even in the PR industry, only those who are extremely good PR with majority number of celebs who are trending, they are doing good. What about the other PRs who are still struggling to find better actors, better market? So only these job opportunities and good payment opportunities are for techies. Will the market open for other opportunities also? What is there for youth? Because 83% is a huge number.
Yeah.
So even in that 80%, 83%, even if the 20% start their own business, the other 60% are yet there to manage, and that is still more than 50%. So that's a huge number.
Yeah, I got your point. You see, you're trying to say that engineers or doctors are getting good job today. I don't agree with you, because there are so many private engineering colleges, Charles, that a lot of engineers are unemployed. It's not that they're employed. You have so many colleges for BDS, that is for your doctors. They are not getting employment. The problem is not that. The problem is we have bifurcated from class education into quantity education.
True.
There's no doubt about it. We had 110 engineering colleges in Bhopal alone, maybe about 10 years back. Now, 110 engineering colleges, I can't imagine the faculty of the highest standard coming and teaching to those people. There was a craze for engineers, That is where we have to take a discretion. We have to take a call that, okay, यार, आज इंजीनियर भर गया, आज पीआर भर गया, आज ये भर गया, मैं कुछ और करूं, मैं खेती बाड़ी करूं, मैं रेस्टोरेंट साइड में चला जाऊं. कुछ डिस्क्रिप्शन अपने को करना पड़ेगा, where the prospect will have to be explained to the youngster. See, this is blocked. This is blocked. Another problem which I want to discuss, why you discussed about the PR, as I said about 5 minutes back, today's youngster wants to be seen on the screen. That is the biggest problem. He wants to be comparable to him. Charles has got a car, I have got a scooter, very bad. That what I'm trying to say is, you avoid the social media in totality. In totality, you try to work things on your merit. What do you like? Like, you are an anchor, Charles. I know you must be having aspirations. यार, मेरे को ज़्यादा अच्छा payment नहीं मिल रहा. But you're sticking around. You're laboring. You're working hard.
Of course.
So you've got a concept. I've never seen you coming on any YouTube or going blah blah blah. So you're doing your work. You're doing your work. So I think that is very, very important for you to classify the thing you like. The thing you like. Don't go because anchor will give me exposure. No, that is wrong. That is what I'm trying to explain. You should go for a line which you genuinely like. Don't go because Charles is an anchor. He goes to Bombay. He meets Rajpal Yadav. He meets Milan Soman. Yaar, bahut achhi line. Chalo apan bhi join kare. Don't follow that rat race. That is a very, very important segment. Therefore, I'm saying individual counseling for individual people is a must. Is very essential. True. That is where I'm trying to focus through this video.
Well, that is very much true, because many times when my friends sees that I'm meeting celebrities, they're like, "Arey, teri life to set hai, you're meeting celebrities." I'm like, I have no interest in meeting them. Once you start working with them,
actually,
interest.
exactly, exactly.
You know the realities behind the curtain.
Yes.
So I do feel that this Instagram, particularly social media, has become day-to-day life of ours. Even if we want to ignore it, we cannot, because it is a rat race today, because everything is on Instagram.
Exactly.
If it is not on Instagram, for a very long time, nobody believed I'm a PR. I had to post pictures with celebrities to show that I am
I'm a PR.
and I'm working with them. So, everything has to be there on social media if you want to prove that it has happened.
Correct.
Otherwise,
correct.
nobody's believing
Yes.
it. So it becomes very
No,
difficult.
what I'm saying is, I totally agree. You feel nice. Like, I have taken this interview with you or talk with you. I'll feel nice floating it to a couple of friends of mine. I had Charles. This is my first sort of a video for motivational, which I'm going to start soon. But that is it. It cannot be put across every possible social media platform that, see, this I have done, this I have done. That is bad. That is what I'm trying to explain. Don't go for unnecessary exposure. Go for a minimum. I'll tell you a very small thing. We were having a lovely chat with Rishi Nanda. He's a motivational speaker about corporate lessons from Hanumanji. Right. Now, Hanumanji went to Lanka. Right. Now, what he explained, I'm telling you in a more briefer, shorter way. It was an abroad trip for him. बाहर गए, विदेश गए थे.
Yeah.
Then he took a flight, plane से गए.
उड़ के गए,
प्लेन से गए. वहां सीता मैया को बचा के लाए. आग लगाई, लंका पे आग लगाई. उन्होंने कोई सोशल मीडिया में तो नहीं डाला ना भैया कि मैं पहली बार विदेश गया. उन्होंने अपना चुपचाप काम किया और अपने राम के जो थे भक्ति में लीन हो गए, मतलब बिजी हो गए. बात आज के जमाने में मैं ये जो एक बड़ी खास चीज होती है कि आज हमारे अश्विनी कैमरामैन है, ये आज यहां से फॉर एग्जांपल उज्जैन गए महाकाल के दर्शन करने. उदाहरण, मैं अश्विनी पे उदाहरण ले रहा हूं, अश्विनी बुरा नहीं मानना उस चीज का. हंस रहा है. अब ये महाकाल गए, इन्होंने साहब 10 फोटो डाल दी. यार, who's bothered? I go abroad, I'm putting 7 photographs. People are jealous. True. They are not happy. If you want to see these thumbs up and likes, 1,000 likes, and if you're happy on that, you're on the wrong side of life. You're on the wrong side of life. I'm telling you, you're on the wrong side of life. Genuineness doesn't come from these or likes. Genuineness come genuinely from good people who are numbered in single digit in life. You have to realize, you have to understand that. Yeah, this is what I wanted to tell in हनुमान जी के बारे में बोलना चाह रहा था आपसे.
Well, that's a great concept to work with, and I completely agree. So, sir, you have seen the evolution, right? You have seen us also grow. So you have seen the evolution of people going crazy, and technically the newer generation going even more crazier because they have access to so many more things. How do we regulate where to put focus on and where not to? Because everything is there in our disposal. So where do we put our focus to? Because our parents want us to focus on the traditional things, whereas me or my younger brother or somebody, they are more focused on something else where parents might not agree to. So where should our focus be? How to balance that focus?
See, I'll tell you, Charles, majority of the parents on today's date have become very broad-minded, knowing that their children, they are not going to listen to them. Gone are those days for the parents also कि 5 बच्चे थे, एक को इंजीनियर बनाऊंगा, एक को डॉक्टर बनाऊंगा, एक को मैं वकील बनाऊंगा, एक को IAS बनाऊंगा. अब वो दिन नहीं रहे. आप एक बच्चे का जो इनहेरेंट टैलेंट रहता है या इनहेरेंट जो लाइकिंग होती है, आपको उसी को एक्सप्लॉइट करना पड़ता है. तो ये पेरेंट्स को भी समझना चाहिए, बच्चे को भी समझना चाहिए. पर मुझे ये लगता है ये गैप जो आप बता रहे हो, नो डाउट इट इज देयर, बट स्लोली इट इज रिड्यूसिंग बिकॉज द पेरेंट्स आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग नाउ कि यार ये जो बच्चा है ये करेगा वही जो इसको अच्छा लगता है. तो आई थिंक द पेरेंट्स हैव टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट इज द लाइकिंग ऑफ दैट चाइल्ड. From when you are small, you can understand the liking. Charles must, I don't know, be a meeting for the first time or second time in life. Maybe when you are small, if I have a chat with your mother, वो बोलती होगी, बताएगी कि ये बोलता बहुत अच्छा था, या गाने सुनने का बड़ा शौक था, या इसको पिक्चरों देखने का बड़ा शौक था. तो आप वो सेलिब्रिटी लाइन में चले गए. इसी तरीके बच्चे का ट्रेट होता है जो माँ बाप छोटी उम्र में पकड़ सकते हैं अगर चाहें कि ये बच्चा यार बचपन में हॉकी बहुत अच्छी खेलता था या ये क्रिकेट बहुत अच्छी खेलता था. So that is one thing I want to focus on. True. When a parent is annoyed with Charles, I want to talk to them. Why are you annoyed with Mr. Charles? And Charles, why are you annoyed with the mother and father? Charles will say that they are doing this. They will say they are doing this. I think we can take out a conclusion. We should take out a conclusion in the middle. Number one. Number two, all said and done, today's youngster, I mean, you belong to that category. Today's youngster, I feel, I'm asking you a question. Do you all want to become a multimillionaire very fast?
Yes. Everyone wants a shortcut today. Majority of the youngsters are there on social media because they feel that, this is the shortcut to become a millionaire. You make good videos. If it starts selling, you will get brands, you'll get money. You are set for the life.
Yeah.
I really fear for my friends who are mostly into Instagram that one day if the algorithm shuffles and if this likes
crashes
down, what are you going to do? Because one day if the Instagram stops, your heartbeat drops. So think about the algorithm changing.
Yeah.
And if this thing goes, what are you going to do? Because you're spending the entire day here. So, I mean, of course, there's developing some skills, but will the skill be enough if the algorithms change? I mean, I fear for my peers.
Yeah,
I truly do.
I totally agree with you. With AI coming now, I think it will be a very tough call for the youngsters in the coming 5-6 years. Very, very tough call. It will be a very tough call. They have to bifurcate from this into something more beautiful. I think this is a very superficial life, what they are leading, being shown on the TV or being shown on the Insta or on the Google or on the YouTube. I feel it's a very, very artificial life. Must grow much stronger. People will come and take your interview. People will put you on YouTube. You should feel the other way around. If I do something great, maybe it's a smaller thing, but something great, genuinely something good in life, people will come running to me, Mr. Charles, why don't you come and have a small interview with me? I've called you today. I've called you today.
And
Right?
I'm
No.
very glad.
What I'm saying is because of your reputation, right? It's a very simple thing. You never gave me a call.
True.
I found out and I thought, yes, and you like the concept. Yeah, concept is very good. Disturbance is there. So both vice versa, it was a liking for each other. I don't think we have ever publicized or, we have done anything of that sort in the Insta or any
True.
other place. That is what I want to do through this media of Kukspeaks for the parents and for the children. Don't run after this. This is superficial. Do something genuinely good. People will come to you.
True. But then again, the question is how to bring this balance, because now that we are talking and we are thinking about, the generations will listen to us, but will they really listen to us? Are we looking cool enough for them to see us? Are we Instagram reel worthy to reach to them? I mean, the question still substands that whether or not are we reaching to them, are we penetrating their mind, are we good enough for them to listen to
No,
us?
the youngster today is aloof. The youngster today is moody. It's tough. It will be a tough call. I mean, this is what I said. The parents will have to be very, very, very patient about dealing with the youngsters.
True.
Because the mood changes. It's like a gearbox. Abhi fourth gear, first gear, then reverse gear lag jayega. Why the change? No one knows. What happens inside their mind. One small success and they come and hug the parents. Oh, thanks so much. One failure and they'll sulk. That is what I am very keen to, have a talk. See, I cannot take the responsibility of the whole population, but what I have experienced with my own children, with my own father, and I always feel our generation, ranging between 55 to 65, we have been, I can use the word screwed by our parents and by the children, it's very simple, because we could not say anything to our parents.
Yeah.
And we cannot say anything to our children. So there is where the patience has creeped in.
Right.
A lot of patience has creeped in, because you can't be the father with the danda with your children every time. You have to be very patient with them. Therefore, that I always come to a conclusion, Charles. Patience is very, very essential. Very essential. You have to be very patient.
And I think the youth is missing the patience these days, because the patience
You'll
is
have to
not
be taught.
there at all.
You'll have to be taught.
It has to be taught.
Yeah. And if the parents have to be a little strict on that, they should be. It has to be taught to him that it's wrongly. You see, I'll tell you one thing, a very small example. When we start any venture in life, like these, you said Instagram and everything, and we come to a finishing line. I was just reading 3-4 days back regarding sports. I'm a sportsman. How finishing and start help you. You are starting, I'll compare it with a small race. We've got a relay, 400 into 4 relay, right?
Mhm.
The man who starts the relay runs beautifully for 100 meter. Just a fraction of a second, he's late giving the relay to his other partner.
Other person.
He loses the race. That is the start. How you start your life, how you start a venture. Now you're coming to the end. We had PT Usha, we had Milkha Singh, right? They finished 4th. I think Milkha Singh should be, if my memory serves me right, 1956, right? After that, we had PT Usha, 1984 Los Angeles. She came 4th. By how much time she lost?
I do not.
1/100th of a second. 1/100th of a second she lost. Milkha Singh lost by 1/10th of a second to come 4th. And Milkha Singh broke down on the track and he cried, because he said, I vomited blood. He did everything fine. But he faltered at the finishing line. Now, what they should have done, which the coaches should have told, you should have lunged forward or put your hand. 1/100th is what? So PT Usha, what I understand, again, I am just trying to quote, it may be not a very literal thing, but it's a symbolic thing. Maybe if she would have lunged forward or dived or fallen, she could have won the bronze. So as I said, the start and the finish is very, very crucial. Very crucial. Now, that is one thing I think PT Usha and Milkha Singh, of course, is no more. They would have really repented their whole lives, So I feel the finishing and the start is very, very important in life.
Right. And now that I'm listening to you, there was one thought that, just popped into my mind. When we were younger, I mean, I was even more younger. Many times, my elder sisters and brothers, they used to tell us that, we are telling you out of our experience. It's your choice. You listen to us or you let it go. And I was like, okay, I'm listening to you. But again, I did the similar mistakes that they did. Because I said, I also want to do this mistake, and then I'll also say the same thing. Now I tell this to my younger brothers and sisters that, I'm telling you from my mistake.
But still they do that.
And they still do that. So is this like a cycle that is supposed to happen? And now we are going to face the new generation of parents. I mean, my parents had a balance of orthodox and traditional methods, whereas I'm somebody who is like, I'm not orthodox. I'm very modern. I have a piercing. I have tattoos. My parents are already disturbed because of that. So I do not know. There's a new generation of parents that is going to come. So do you think that even the coming generations are going to be much, much different?
No, the coming generation is going to be more frank with their parents. And the time the parents understand this, that now my child is coming, I have to be very frank. Number one. Number two, what I've learned over a period of time, a small child copies the father and a mother a lot. So what traditions you give? As I said, the traditional value of India, that is so rich in culture. If you give him that culture, there is no question of the child going astray. That I can guarantee you. Yes, as you rightly said, you can go, you can be an alcoholic. There are stray cases. You become a drug addict. There are. But majority, if we give a good culture and good tradition, what we have been given by our parents, I think the child should not go astray. Number one. Yeah. Number two, as you rightly said, कि आपके बुजुर्गों ने आपको बताया, लेकिन आपने भी वो गलती करी, और आपके बच्चों को बताया, उन्होंने भी वो गलती करी. तो वो हिंदी में कहावत है चार्ल्स की, वो महफिल तो मैंने छोड़ दी, वो मैंने बड़ा काम नहीं किया, मैंने मुड़ के नहीं देखा, वो बहुत बड़ा काम था. I left that place and went to my house. I never turned back and saw that. If you can learn from that, that is what life is all about.
So true.
That is what life is all about. Yes, Charles told me, don't go to that man. He's a dirty man. Yet I went there. He made me smoke. He made me drink. He made me do this. He made me do that. How right Charles was. I'll never go there again now. That is something you have to take a call. And that is where I say the traditions and the culture of the family comes to play a lot. चोर का बच्चा चोरी करने जाएगा, उसके ज़मीर में कभी आवाज नहीं आएगी. His conscience will never prick him. But if we do,
of course the conscience.
Why? Because अपने आप को करता ही नहीं है.
True.
No one does. You see, तो अपने यहाँ अगर कोई ऐसा काम अपन करते ही नहीं है और अपन करने जाएंगे, तो अपनी conscience immediately prick करेगी. So I always believe the culture given by the parents are very important. And in the coming days, I feel a better bonding can be developed between the parents and the child who's about to come.
Right. So one question that I want to tell you.
Yeah.
You going back to your younger self in today's age, if you had a younger self of yours today, what would you tell that person to? आप क्या मैसेज देंगे उस इंसान को?
देखो, गलतियां तो हुई बचपन में. मैसेज यही रहता है कि थोड़ा संभल के चलो. पहली चीज जो बचपन में एक आदत रहती है कि यार life is really very easy, getting everything from the parents. That is one thing bad. Little more focused on what you are doing and do something which you I think where the thing what I really wanted to do in my childhood, I could not do that because of my focus. So I think focus was the main thing. Otherwise, if I am born again, I'll exactly do everything what I've done. I'm very happy.
So very satisfied one.
I'm a very satisfied man. And because, as I said, focus. Yes, focus was one thing I missed a lot. Certain places where I could have focused more on what I was doing. I could have got better results in life.
True.
Otherwise, all right. No regrets in life.
And is there any message that you gave to your sons that you felt that, they really needed it and you gave it to them?
As I said, now since you are coming on a personal level, I can't describe much on that.
Okay.
Because both are going to be there and to watch this video. But yes, patience. As I said, patience. And as I said, the mood fluctuations, today something, then something. Patience and culture, patience and culture, patience and culture. Able to take them out nearly 80%. Abhi bhi 20% bacha hai. Abhi bhi 20% bacha hai. But patience is the key. And I said, culture will always come into the fore. The traditions will always come into the fore. What my parents gave me and what I gave them. I think that is going to help, which I feel, to suppose they are left about 20 or 10% also, to take them out. That 10% would be, I think, very comfortable because of the traditions and culture our family gave us.
Again, talking about traditions and cultures, most of the youngsters don't really associate to traditions and culture. They are
ट्रेडिशन का मतलब देखो ये नहीं होता चार्ल्स कि हम पूजा करते हैं तो पूजा करें. ये उनकी चॉइस है. कोई आइडल वर्शिप करता है, कोई दिल में वर्शिप करता है. आप फोर्स नहीं कर सकते.
True.
आप फोर्स नहीं कर सकते. ट्रेडिशनल कल्चर ये होता है कि आप अपने जो मैं समझता हूं ऑन अ वेरी नटशेल कि आप अपने बुजुर्गों की इज्जत करो. आप एक जो काम करते हो सच्चाई से करो. झूठ मत बोलो, फरेब मत करो, दगाबाजी मत करो. ये जो नॉर्मल जो छोटे छोटे पॉइंट्स होते हैं लाइफ के, उनको फॉलो करो। बाकी आप, मैं बिल्कुल बिलीव करता हूँ, जैसे कई परिवार, मैं मंदिर जाता हूँ, मेरी वाइफ मंदिर जाती है, बच्चे नहीं जाते, बट दे आर गॉड फीयरिंग पीपल। ठीक है, दे फील दैट देयर इज समथिंग सिटिंग देयर ऑन द टॉप, बट नहीं, ये वो वाला भगवान नहीं है, ये एक सुपर पावर है। ठीक, कोई बात, आप सुपर पावर की पूजा करो या आप सुपर पावर से डरो। व्हाट इज गॉड फियरिंग? गॉड इज,
बट सर विल इट चेंज? फॉर एग्जांपल यू सेड कि आप, आपकी वाइफ मंदिर जाते हैं, बच्चे आजकल मंदिर नहीं जाते, दे आर गॉड फियरिंग, उनके बच्चे तो मंदिर भी नहीं जाएंगे, नाउ गॉड फियरिंग वाला पार्ट आ गया, विल गॉड फियरिंग वाला पार्ट विल बी देयर इन देम और नॉट? विल दे बिकम एथिस्ट?
बिल्कुल, नो 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 no. You see, if they become also that doesn't mean that they become bad people. The main thing is that they should be good human beings. If I don't follow God, or if I don't believe in the Almighty, but I'm a good human being, solves the issue. Solves the issue. But I feel it will not be possible because you have to ultimately bow your head. मुसीबत में किसके पास जाओगे? आप कुछ भी कर लो, आप कितने भी पावरफुल आदमी हो, आप कितने भी मजबूत आदमी हो, आप डकैत हो, आप स्मगलर हो, आप कॉर्पोरेट हाउस के वाइस प्रेसिडेंट हो, प्रेसिडेंट हो, कहीं ना कहीं ऐसी मुसीबत आती है कि मत्था टिक ही जाता है, टिक ही जाता है, हे ईश्वर बचा ले। आप बोलोगे ईश्वर नहीं, हे गॉड फियरिंग बचा ले, कुछ तो बोलोगे, तो वो कंसेप्ट तो जाएगा नहीं चार्ल्स, क्योंकि आप मुसीबत में कहीं तो अपना सर झुकाओगे, कहीं तो माँ बाप के सामने झुकाओगे, तो माँ बाप ईश्वर हो गए।
So these days they have this manifesting thing that now you have to manifest to the universe and universe will give you. So अब भगवान कोई नहीं चाहिए, अब यूनिवर्स और मैनिफेस्टेशन पावर पे ज्यादा बिलीव चल रहा है।
चलिए, मैंने कहा ना, एक सुपर पावर हो गया। जैसे मैंने राइटफुली बोला कि भाई ईश्वर, हम नहीं मानते ईश्वर को, हम तो एक सुपर पावर को मानते हैं, तो बहुत अच्छी बात है, आप किसी को तो मानते हैं।
ट्रू।
वो क्या होता है, एज के साथ कन्वर्ट होता है, वो एज के साथ कन्वर्ट।
बट आई थिंक दैट मोस्टली इट्स बिकॉज दे वांट टू ब्लेम ऑन समबडी। सो अगर जिंदगी में कुछ बुरा हो गया, आप पेरेंट्स को भी नहीं बोल सकते बिकॉज दे सेड मत करो, फंस जाओगे, उनकी सुनी नहीं, नाउ अब किसको कंप्लेन करना है? किसी पे तो ब्लेम डालना है, खुद पे तो ब्लेम लेंगे नहीं, तो यूनिवर्स पे डाल दिया।
देखो, आप ऐसा लेके चलो, वी कम टू द कंक्लूजन ऑफ दिस माय फर्स्ट प्रोमो। ऑफ कोर्स, एज आई सेड, वी विल बी कमिंग आउट विद द अदर पैरामीटर्स आल्सो। एक बच्चा है छोटा, आज की जनरेशन का, उसके पास एनर्जी लेवल्स 100 आउट ऑफ 100 है, जो हम लोग के टाइम पे नहीं थी। हम लोग के टाइम पे 80 आउट ऑफ 100 थी। इतना एनर्जी लेवल है आज के बच्चे में, आपके पास इतनी एनर्जी लेवल है, सिर्फ उस एनर्जी लेवल को कहां डाइवर्ट करना है, वो इक्वेशन है, नथिंग एल्स।
ट्रू।
They are good people, they are extremely intelligent people, they are very innovative people, they are coming up with some brilliant ideas. You have these startups. Of course, we talked about the negativity about these children.
True.
But if you see the positivity, you see the startups, the ideas they have, massive. Massive. I mean, if you're talking, compare it with your older generation, there is no patch. There is no patch at all. I mean, these kiddies and these younger people are absolutely beautiful. Only thing is the energy levels have to be just given a direction, exactly. कि उसको डायरेक्शन किस तरीके से दें कि सबसे बड़ी चीज उनको शांति मिले। वो जब शांत हो जाएंगे, तो उनको जब सुकून मिल जाएगा, शांति मिल जाएगा, तो वही वो आगे बांटेंगे। अभी वो खुद ही इतना एंगर और फ्रस्ट्रेशन है उनका, क्योंकि उन्होंने होप्स बहुत बढ़ा लिए हैं। होप्स बहुत हैं। जैसे अभी अपन ने जिक्र किया, एक ही रात में मेरे पास मर्सिडीज भी आ जाए, घर भी आ जाए, तो मैंने शॉर्टर मीडिया तय कर लिया। आज आप देखेंगे कि जो अपने ये फ्रॉड्स हो रहे हैं, साइबर फ्रॉड्स हो रहे हैं, ये क्या हो रहे हैं? दे आर ऑल ऑन शॉर्टकट मीडिया। तो वंस दे रियलाइज, नहीं यार ये गलत है, और मेरे को देयर इज नो सब्स्टिट्यूट फॉर हार्ड वर्क, चार्ल्स, एट ऑल, व्हिच you also agree with me.
Of course.
So once they understand that, I feel they have the potential. I feel they have the the material inside them. Only thing is a little bit of guidance is required to these youngsters.
Right. Absolutely, sir, because guidance is what everyone is looking for, and everyone should seek for. And I, from the youth side, would love to say that, we are looking for that guidance. It's not like we are not looking or we are not ready to accept that guidance. We are there to accept that guidance, but it has to be on the terms of what we like to hear. Correct. And how you are observant about our activities.
Correct.
Like you were mentioning earlier, that it's more like you have to observe first what's happening.
Exactly.
And then you have to give your suggestions. Don't come with your suggestions before observing. Because that is like you are coming to our territory and telling us what to do.
Correct.
Without knowing what we are already doing.
Exactly.
So I think that's what I would like to tell from my youth's side, because we feel that we have opinion. We want to give it, but on the terms of how we want to talk about it.
Exactly.
So if you're observant enough, if you're seeing from the sidelines, and then you're coming and asking us in our way, there can be
That is what I'm trying.
conversation.
That is what I'm trying, Charles. That I've been able to observe and rectify this little anger or a little depression. I'll not say very major depression of lot many youngsters. Including a tennis player and including lot many good people, and they are so thankful. The only thing what I kept in mind was the observation and lot of patience. One sitting,
True.
two sitting, three sittings, four sittings, and then with the parents, then again, then there. So potential is there, but yes, what you said, it's very much in my mind that आपकी टेरिटरी में घुसूंगा तो आपको डिस्टर्ब नहीं करूंगा, आपके साथ रहूंगा, आपके प्रॉब्लम सुनने के बाद ही कोशिश करूंगा कि कोई आपको मैं सोल्यूशन दे पाऊं. और जैसे मैंने जिक्र किया कि एक इनपुट और आउटपुट का मैं सोर्स जरूर आप लोगों को देना चाहता हूं कि वो जरूर रखिए आप लोग जीवन में. मेरे ख्याल से बाकी आई थिंक इट शुड रियली किक स्टार्ट सून नाउ. या
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're doing a fantastic job meeting all of us from different segments of life. And talking to you is absolute pleasure, sir, because I've seen your work, and because I'm into PR work and I see a lot of media personnels. Seeing your work is always inspiring, and what you are doing today, calling me here and sitting with me, it's absolute pleasure.
No, it's absolute pleasure, Charles. Thank you so much. And looking forward and hope to release and come back to all of us, the viewers of Kukspeaks, very soon. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.